everyone.
Thank you for joining us with Friday with Friends. So what our plan is for this is someone from the Friends team.
We have to wait.
Why are you waiting?
We have to wait.
Don't we wait for people to like get on? Isn't that the
We could do that.
Facebook Live way that you do things?
Well, what should we chat about before we wait? We probably should have planned this a little bit.
Maybe drink your water.
Oh, you want to see our mugs while we're waiting for people to come on?
Oh my god, one person's on.
Hi, 2 people! Yay! All right. Well, we'll just kind of get into it, and the plan is that on particular Fridays, we intend to do as many as we can. At noon, we will have someone from the Friend team come, and we'll either be live from our office or out in the field, and just kind of give some item of value, because our goal with this is that you can ask questions, that we use us as a resource to help as much as we can to answer questions, whether it be pertaining about physically buying and selling a house, or if it's just, hey, we need some referrals, anything real estate related, we want you to know you can come to us and you can ask, and that we know enough people to be able to help. So that's what we'll do. What our plan is today is to talk a little bit about New Year, New Home.
New Year, New Home, hashtag. Oh. Are we sisters?
So New Year, New Home is what the topic is, and basically we've got tons of people. When we decide about topics, we'd love to hear from you, so comment if you have some extra topics that we can chat about and that you want us to put on our radar. But whatever we're hearing in the market, so if we have our clients that are asking a lot about, I want to buy in 2018, what do I do? What we're hearing a lot of is, oh, it's not until the end of the year. We don't know how to start, or are we way ahead of the game? And the answer is no. There's things that if you want to buy or sell right now, that you should be doing right now if you want to buy or sell even later towards the end of the year. So we'll kind of go through that, and in the meantime we'll be able to open it up for extra questions and really answer them as we go and try to keep on track as much as we can too.
Sounds good.
Start saying hi to people, guys.
Oh my gosh, people!
Hi Lisa, hi Jess.
Oh my gosh.
I think Ash joined too. Hi Ash, you have to join, like that's like your duty.
If you're on our team, you have to join. You have to watch us. You don't see us enough.
Yes, yes.
And that's something we've been getting a lot too, is through the holidays. And I want to get through the holidays. I want to get through the winter. I don't want to be looking at houses in the snow and everything like that, even though it's basically spring today, which is amazing.
I know. Aliana was like, can I wear my sandals? I was like, probably, actually. Not until, what is it, 6 o'clock? The storm's coming?
The storms are coming.
Crazy.
Oh boy.
Yes. So let's get kind of going in terms of, you want to start on the seller side?
Perfect.
So Abby is our listing specialist within our team, and so she helps a lot with the sellers. So what I can do is I will kind of like act like I'm going to be a seller, and all of the questions that normally people that are going to be putting their house in the market would ask, and then you can answer those and we'll go from there. And then as you, hi Brian, then as you get to the point where you're, if you have any questions or anything you want to be asking too, feel free to add those in and we'll keep that on our radar, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so I want to sell my house at the end of the year. I don't need to, is there anything that I should be doing now, or what would your suggestions be?
Perfect. So it happens a lot where people have it on their mind. Maybe they start seeing houses that they really like, but they're not ready to make that jump yet, whether they want to get through the school year. I see a lot too. People maybe want to change school districts, but they want to get their kids at least through June, or, get through the school year and move in the summer. So we do see that a lot. Typically, we always say it's never, ever too early to start. Carrie! Hey girl, early to start. We always like to have initial conversation with our sellers, whether they're 3 months out, 6 months, or a year, 2 years out. It's never too early to start. So we will have a listing appointment, and that means I will go through the house and we'll kind of create a game plan moving forward, and then most importantly, we'll get their house ready. If there's a to-do list, whether it's, okay, this wall's purple, we gotta paint it. We'll talk about different color options to make sure that we get the house as neutral and as appealing to as many different buyers as there are out there. Okay. So we talk staging, we talk just getting the house ready to sell. We also have an awesome list of like contractors and painters and things like that. So even if you're far out, it's never too early, because we can get the ball rolling on those things and prioritize a list. So if you want to redo the kitchen, okay, is it going to be worth it? Are we going to see that return on investment, or are you going to enjoy it for 6 months and then we don't?
Okay. What if my house is a hot mess? So I've got 2 kids and I haven't done anything to it. I really don't want you to come over yet. What would you say to me?
Is that your real life?
Yeah, that actually is.
No problem. We don't care. We see past it. I always say save for the cleaning and all of that for when you actually have buyers coming through the house.
point.
I can look through the toys and everything like that, and we'll talk through staging, getting the house ready. We have an awesome, stagers that we use too, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We've seen worse. Who else is on? Chelsea, Niner. Oh my God. We're
Hi, guys.
feel so proud that people are actually watching us.
And then what I will add too is if you are a seller that is looking to get your house ready, what we found a lot was that you might have a to-do list that you've started. So say, okay, on our radar is to put granite countertops in. On our radar is to do a new bathroom vanity. On our radar is to paint. And what we've been able to do is we can go through and prioritize that list, because if you have say 6 to 9 months, we can say, hey, do this first. This is going to get a good bang for your buck.
Right.
Do this second. And we'll also be able to say, hey, if you can find it at around this price point, it's going to make sense to do that.
Yeah.
But if it's anything more than that, you won't get your return on investment.
And that's huge, and we'll guide you throughout what we've seen in the market, and does this make sense? Yes, no, but also we'll look at comparables, so houses that have sold in your neighborhood to say, okay, all of these guys, they had the granite, let's do it, it's worth it, we see them sell at a higher price point, or no, they didn't, let's not waste our time, energy, money, all of that good stuff. So we'll guide you throughout the entire process, so that's why it's never too early to start.
You brought up the numbers piece. So how much am I going to be able to get a feel for what my house is going to sell for if you give me numbers now?
Right. So we like to, whether again you're 3 months out, right when we meet, we'll give you an initial market analysis. The market's going to change, whether it's in a few weeks, a few months, definitely within the year, the market's going to change. So we do a preliminary market analysis, look at numbers, and then once we get closer, we're keeping an eye on the market, we're keeping an eye on those comparables, keeping you updated, and then once we're ready to list, we redo it completely, so we make sure that we're pricing it correctly with the current market.
And one even a kind of a fun thing is everyone likes to go to open houses. And I've even had it where you as a seller, it might benefit you from going through other properties that would be your competition. So you can actually get through these other houses that are on the market, and we can say, hey, this is a comparable house to yours. Go ahead and go through it. And of course, we don't want to be displacing sellers if we're not a serious buyer. And you'll appreciate that when you're going to sell. But it's a good way to just get into properties without displacing a seller and get a really good feel for what you're working with and what your competition is out there.
True. Good point.
So if you guys have any other questions, feel free at any point to write a question, send us a like if you guys, if you're a past client or if you are excited to be here. We're so excited to have you guys. Hi, Ash. Hey, girl. Ash. So we have
Laura, Devin, Mary, Heidi, Niner, Chelsea. We've got everybody.
Love you guys. Thanks for being here.
Look at our likes.
Megan's behind us and she doesn't like it. No, we'll take every like. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And like we said, if there's any comments, what we just spoke about was if you are a seller, what you should be doing now, even if you're a little ways out. And then was there anything else that we missed in terms of sellers?
I don't think so.
Actually, the one thing that I think about too is a lot of people want to know not just what they can sell their house for, but get an idea for their net. And that's really important for us. Hi, Doey. That it's so important for our sellers to be able to say, listen, it's not about what the number I'm getting, it's what I'm going to be able to walk away with.
What does that really mean? What is my sale price of $100,000 or $200,000? What does that really mean? So there's a few things that we provide our sellers right off the bat. So the initial market analysis. We also provide, staging tips, different things like that. Silly things like hide your trash can, hide your dog food. That would be big for me because my dog takes over my house. Hide your, the stuff on the countertops, little things like that. So we provide all of those, and then we also do a seller's net sheet. So what this looks like is it's an Excel doc. You love Excel. She loves Excel. She loves numbers.
I love them.
So we provide a Excel sheet where, okay, let's see if we sell for $100,000 with all of the different fees associated with selling. This is what we're going to walk away with at the end of the day. So that is a really good point to say, okay, if it is new year, new home, what are we going to be able to use from the old house to put towards the new house? So yeah, it's, again, never too early to start and, start the conversation, figure out what's next and, how we're going to get you there.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So let's do, we'll get into the buy side. Ash, right? It's amazing. We have more Excel documents. I think that Google Sheets.
No, she has too many.
I'm like, we should create a Google Sheet for that. Our mom, when our sister,
This is embarrassing. Don't.
when we have family coming into town and we need to organize it, my mom will create a Google Sheet that she sends out to everyone, organizing our time, and so we can add notes.
It'll be like, this day we're going to the Museum of Play from 12 to 3, and then nap. I'm like,
Where do I get it from? I don't know. It's my heaven. All right, so let's move into the buy side. So we'll swap it. Do you want to do it where you'll ask me the question, you'll pretend
Perfect.
you're a buyer looking later on?
Perfect. So I'm looking to buy a house later on, and I really don't know where to start or what to do.
So we have a lot of buyers that come to us and they're like, Mandy, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. And what I always say is it's so important to just open up the conversation. And especially with us as your realtor, we can be able to say, hey, this is the first direction to say, or hey, yes, we're definitely looking a little bit too early, but we're not afraid to have that conversation. So reaching out is never a problem. But the first thing that we always really want to understand is the finances. And if you've tuned into my video blogs in the past, you've seen that I had this horrible situation. It wasn't like devastating, but I checked my finances. My husband and I wanted to buy a property, and we meet with our bank, and they're like, we need to talk about your credit score. And I'm like, I go blank. I'm like, someone stole my identity, and I'm going crazy. But really what happened is through our businesses, our business credit cards, we run our business through our credit cards. And so what happens is at the end of every month, we pay them off to earn the points. But what was happening is they were checking our credit toward the end of the month. And what that meant is I was like, according to them, every single month I am maxing out on my credit card.
Even though you're paying it
Even
right
though I was
off.
paying them off. And that just killed my credit. And so when I talked to the bank, they said, well, all you need to do is instead of paying them off on the 1st or the 30th of every month, pay off on the 15th and the 30th, and on the 15th and on the 30th. And just that simple change, it took a couple months to be able to benefit and to be able to see my credit score getting back to where I wanted it to be. But you think you're doing everything right, and it does not hurt to check. And even the loan officers that we work with too, if you say, hey, I don't want to pull my credit right now, but I bought a car and this is, around where I think it is, they can guide you. So you never feel any pressure to, push too fast, but at least opening up the conversation, you can kind of figure that out.
Oh, wait, who's on here?
Hi, Joey. Hi, Rocky.
I saw Garrett too, I think, or maybe I'm on my computer, but hey, everybody.
So finances is the first thing, and we have a bunch of we've got loan officers at almost every single bank. So if there's a bank that you want to work with, we can start that connection and make sure that you're connecting and asking the right questions to get started, and really protecting you and looking out for you to make sure that we're not, moving too fast where you might feel uncomfortable. The other piece with finances is to say, hey, I'm looking at around, a $200,000 price point. Can you give me an idea of what I need to be saving and what my mortgage options are?
I think that's huge because a lot of times you say, okay, I want to buy 150, but you really have no idea what that means.
Right.
I don't really care what that means. I want to know what I have to bring to closing and what my monthly payment is. So I think that's a really good point to, connect with your realtor, but then also get connected with a loan officer so you can start to understand that. I know what our loan officers do that we work really closely with is they'll do like a fake house. I'm supposed to be the buyer here, but that's
No, keep it going. It's perfect.
They do like a fake house where you say, okay, if I wanted to buy 123 Main Street in Canandaigua, just as an example.
Yeah.
With those taxes and everything like that, what does that look like, and break it down. So you're not just saying, I want to buy 150. You actually know, what do I have to put down and what do I have to have each month? So that's important too.
And I know when I'm saving, if I have like a goal that I need to save for, like my poor husband, I'm like, we can't afford to go out to eat. And like I become like this crazy person where if you actually have a goal you can work toward and you say, okay, we need to really save, this many $1,000s over the next little while, you can set a goal and you can be realistic and you can live while you're doing it because you have those expectations. So that's why it's so important to start on the financial side first.
What else for buyers?
What else for buyers? I would say what we always talk about too is typically in the same way that you do a listing consult for sellers, we do a buyer consult for buyers. And that gives buyers the opportunity to talk about criteria, to talk about, listen, this is the house I want to buy. Do I want to buy a house in Canandaigua with 50 acres, or do I want to buy a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath in Canandaigua? And there's a big variety in inventory that would then be available for you. So if you have a house that you think is going to be really tough to find, then we we've got to get going because it may take you a year for that house to come even on the market, let alone for us to be able to secure that house. So, but if it's a house that, the properties really do come up and we want to be buying later in the year, then we'll typically gravitate more toward getting through open houses like we discussed earlier, and setting up on a market search so that you're able to see the inventory coming up. And then that way, by the time you are ready to go see houses, you've really seen, a lot, and you really feel like you're a little bit more educated on the process.
Same thing on the, as we talked about on the seller side with the buy side, it's really, really never too early. So, reaching out, getting a search set up, because if you are looking for a unique house, whether it's acreage or location, maybe you want to live in an area that hasn't had a house sell in like a year, those are those unique spots that we talk about, and you really want to start the process a little bit earlier than someone who, they just want to be in a school district and they don't care about anything else. If you have a specific house, you have to, I'm reading Megan's comments.
Sorry, what did you say?
Who else joined us? Hannah! Love behind the scenes market search setup. So key.
Yes.
So true.
And oh, hi Meg! I didn't see you join, Meg. What I think the other thing too that I'll hit on about the buyer side is when we talked about how with sellers, it's good to get out into open houses to maybe see your inventory, to see the inventory that you're competing with. In the same way with buyers, when if you guys saw the House Hunters episode, Eddie and I had no idea what we were looking for. Like, we thought that we did, but we really didn't until we got into houses. So it's so important. We'll set people up so they're saying, hey, I want to go look at open houses this Sunday. Can you send me a list that meets this criteria? And sometimes you could be looking in Canandaigua, but there's a really cool house in Fairport that's kind of similar to what you want, and you don't want to be in that neighborhood, but you just want to see how that feels. So we set buyers up on that all the time to be able to say, hey, here's a tour of open houses that I want you to be hitting up this weekend, that you can try out and get some feedback, so you can really kind of learn what you like, what you don't like, and really solidify that, so that when you are turning it on to say, yes, we're ready to buy, you just feel like you really understand the market and have a good feel and are confident in what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's cool when, for our sellers, I'm totally shifting gears here. Hi, Courtney.
Hi.
Holly. Oh,
hi, Holly.
I saw your post on some super cute stuff at your store. I have to come by. What was I saying? Searches. No.
Searches, open houses?
Open houses.
Getting buyers out to see.
What I love is when my sellers are really educated on the market too. And that's something that's my job, is to say, hey guys, when we are on the market, these are the comparables that just came up, for example. But it's really cool when they know it too. And they say, well, these guys have a finished basement, and they're educated as well. So it's just really important to keep your eyes out there, and our team does setting up searches and different things like that to help too. So
yes, perfect.
What else with buyers? We talked about the finances, the searches. I think a good thing to talk about too is when you're ready to buy, or kind of working on like a timeline, and you always say work backwards.
Great point. Yes.
So if you say, I want to buy in March, let's just say, or maybe even later, a typical close is 60 days. At some time, if it's a government-backed loan, like
hi, Abby. Hi, Michelle.
Abby, hey girl. If it's a government-backed loan like USDA, VA, FHA, those loans can take a little bit longer. So maybe we're talking like a 75-day close. And if it's a cash deal, which we all would love to do that, it can close in 30 days. So on average, we're talking about 60 days, where if you want to buy in the spring, a good idea is to work backwards. To say, if I want to move into my new house in June, April, May, June, April. I got to put an offer in on my dream house in April. And if it's going to take me a month to find it, I go back another month. And you kind of just work backwards to figure out a timeline that works well. I have a lot of buyers who say, or our team does, that say, oh, I want to be in my house in 3 months. I've got time. I'm like, no, we got to go right now if you want to be in your house in 3 months. Because let's say it does take us a few weeks to find your dream house.
Hi,
and
Amanda.
then closing.
Hi, Kristen.
Hi, everybody. So just working backwards, and if you are in a lease, talking that through with your landlord, if you want to get out of your lease early, if that's possible. different things.
And those are all conversations that we bring up that you can have. We had a client who was like, I'm stuck in my lease for the next 6 months. And what we brought up was the fact that means, so the lease was going to expire in December. And we're like, listen, we know landlords. Landlords don't want people moving out in December because not a lot of people are necessarily looking to move in the winter.
Right.
If it's, for instance, around U of R, they want their leases to expire, when school's about to start or when school's ending or about to start. So we said, you should just ask because they probably would want you to expire it out sooner. They asked and it worked out perfectly. And we've even had communication where we've reached out to the landlord and we've talked with them and we've said, listen, if we can help you market the property and find someone to sublet the apartment, would you be open to it? And just all those things that you can be really keeping a pulse on and really navigating through because there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
And you don't want to have to
definitely.
pay a fee to get out of it, so we never would want that. But if it is an option and the right house comes up, it's good to know your options.
Mm-hmm. And again, just starting early and having those conversations with your landlord to see if it is an option.
That's a good point. Yeah. So anything else on the buyer side? So we're talking about what you need to be doing today if you're looking to have a new home in 2018,
Yep.
whether you're looking to sell or looking to purchase. Gosh, even investing too. We've got a lot of people that have investing in real estate on the radar, and we help so many investors because it's something that makes so much sense for retirement planning. That we've got a lot of those people that just they're buying. Sometimes their goal is to buy one a year. Sometimes their goal is to buy multiple in a year. And we help with that and really make sure that we position them to have success as landlords and all of the craziness that goes into it.
That could be a whole nother call.
Whole nother thing.
My goodness, you guys are stuck with us. Wait, we haven't said hi to a few people. Tony, Michelle.
I said
You
oh.
did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, we're all the way down at the bottom.
Oh,
We're learning. So that's kind of where those are the things that we have. I guess what we'll do is we'll just kind of chat a little bit more if there's any other comments or questions. Like we said, if you do have any other topics that we want to be talking about or any other questions, you can feel free to just kind of leave all the comments on this video. Help us by sharing it. Get it out to all of your friends. Hashtag what?
Replay if you're watching the replay.
Hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. We've got Megan our Facebook Live. But yeah, if you're going through, make sure you're commenting so that we can add those to some future things. And like I said, we want to be doing this as often as possible. One idea that somebody brought up was to be able to Facebook Live through a showing to see like what a showing looks like. To Facebook Live through a walkthrough and what all of those things look like. Hi, Meg.
Megan!
So to be able to really give you some inside scoop, whether we're out in the field or whether we're in here, just chatting more about how to really maximize and get ahead of the game. So that ultimately, the reason we're so big about getting ahead of the game is because we want this to be an enjoyable experience. Like, yes, there's situations where selling your house is really tough, but the last thing we wanted to do is for you to not know and to not have expectations. And we take such pride in educating our clients to really make sure that you know what's going on. And if there is an issue that arises, you're like, okay, yeah, I knew about that and we're okay. And we've worked around it and we've got different options that we can have. So education is so important. And the quicker you connect with us, the quicker we can make sure that we have all of the possibilities and all of the different options that we should be exploring together and brainstorm through.
Right. Especially, if it's your first time selling or your first time buying, it's such a new experience, and we don't expect our clients to be, experts on it at all. So
We
even
do
if
this
it's
every day.
Yes.
Every day we do this. So
I heard when we were listening to a webinar or something, and they said, "Oh my God,
I know the
can't
babies
do
and
this."
fur babies. I can't wait to buy a house with you. We can't wait for you to either.
It was like you as the buyer, as the seller, you might buy and sell your house 5 times, and we
Over the course of a lifetime.
Yeah, we sold 158 houses this year. So we don't expect you guys to know how to do those things, but we do it, as Mandy said, every day. So we're here to guide you through the entire process and make it easy and exciting.
Yeah.
And we obviously, take a picture with the sold sign because you have to.
You have to.
Did you buy a house if you don't?
Did it really happen? Okay, well,
What else?
thanks everyone for joining us so much. We what we'll do is we'll we'll just let you guys know and keep you posted when our next one will be. And if you can, hit that like, hit that love, hit that share button for us, and keep spreading the word just so we can help as many people as we can. Like we said, our goal is for us to be your favorite real estate resource. Whether it has to be in buying or selling, or whether it be just looking for referrals, we want to be able to support you guys and have you think of the friend team to help your friends, help your coworkers, help your family, help yourself. That's what we're here for, and we absolutely love what we do. We had a couple people, hi Erin! Oh my god, I love your baby. She's not a baby, she's Aliana.
I know.
Big girls. Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Well, I hope that you guys we'll share this so you guys can rewatch it later. And thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah. Stay warm.
I know.
If you don't have snow tires, go snuggle up. If you do have snow tires, I guess still snuggle up. My daughter always says, Mama, want to go get cozy maybe?
And I want to go get cozy on the couch. I'm like, you can have everything you want in the world.
So go get cozy tonight. We're always here for any questions, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Okay, good.
Thanks for joining us with Friday with Friends.